everyone, I'm Jennifer Baker. We are excited to launch a new show here on Springs TV called YourCOS, which is exactly that, a show dedicated to your city, your Colorado Springs, and all it has to offer, including the latest issues and events. We hope it will make you feel a little more connected to this great place that we call home. Our first topic is infill and redevelopment projects within our city, and it's something that some residents know a whole lot about, while others have no idea.
Infill? I don't know what infill means. Is that kind of like fill it up like at the gas station?
Infill? I mean, is that some, I don't know what infill is.
When I say infill, what comes to mind?
Taking empty lots in a downtown area and filling it with buildings or housing or whatever it may be.
Oh, I believe in that. Yeah, we need more of that. We need something down here, really. We need something downtown.
I do. I think it's a really nice area with little shops run by independent people, and I think it's a really nice area.
We have areas within 4 blocks of downtown that are just absolute mess that need to be reinvigorated in some way, and the only way I can think of to do it is with infill.
Well, I think they can stop building all the chain stores so more people will be wanting to come downtown to visit the businesses in the downtown.
And keeping the youth here, just keeping the city young. Because nowadays, kids that graduate from high school and they're out and gone.
We are joined by our guest Carl Schuler, who's going to give us some more background information. Carl, thanks for being with us and joining us. He's the Comprehensive Planning Manager with the city's Planning Department. So if you don't mind giving us just some brief background on what is infill, kind of a basic explanation for people who don't know.
Infill is something our Infill Steering Committee is working on, and it's really all about the mature parts of the city and new development on vacant property, redevelopment, renovation, basically that whole topic for all of the mature parts of our city.
And it affects a lot of folks, definitely.
It affects most of the residents of our city because they either live in these areas, they work in these areas, or they experience these areas.
Right, okay. So we had the opportunity to actually attend an infill workshop, and we want to share some information from that meeting now.
Well, the community meetings are really intended to achieve a number of things. One is to really hear the voices of city residents, to identify what their priorities, what their issues may be, and to hear their comments and suggestions on how the city can assist the neighborhoods as well as the private market to reinvest in those areas. So really it is intended to really hear the voices of our citizens. Have citizens identify locations of potentially higher intensity and density uses. By that, what I mean by that is where they see, for example, multifamily housing being developed, commercial areas, retail, as well as uses like restaurants and things of that nature where they can balance and provide those services in existing neighborhoods. So the exercise would bring forward some ideas of where the city should perhaps change its zoning and what are some of the desirable land uses that the neighborhoods would like to see in their areas.
Last but not least during the show, we want to address some questions from local residents that Carl can hopefully help us with. And the first one is, I live near downtown, how does infill impact me?
Well, infill will probably impact you if you live downtown even more so than everybody else, because downtown will probably be the centerpiece of the infill strategy, the policy that will be recommended.
So it does really matter the area in which you live, depending on your impact.
Right, but it really affects everybody. That's the key thing. And the fiscal importance of infill to the entire city, to the taxpayers, is what's emerged as really a big stakeholder input.
Okay, next question. What is the impact on my neighborhood and on my property value?
I think infill is a big part of property values. Really, people are looking at the value of their property. It's very important in their neighborhoods. So in order to maintain that property value, we have to have a positive infill strategy.
Okay. Next question, what is the city doing right now in regards to infill?
The city is involved in a whole process that will end up with a new chapter of our comprehensive plan. And that's involving an infill steering committee, and that steering committee is supported by both city council and the mayor. And it's looking at priorities, it's looking at incentives, it's looking at all the different topics like utilities, code enforcement, transportation, and trying to come up with the key things that we really need to do to promote infill in our city.
Okay, so last question, I have an interest in one specific project. Where do I go to find out more? And that's just a good general question. Where do folks go?
Well, the first thing you can do is give me a call anytime you want, but because I'm involved in this as the project manager. But the easiest thing to do is type the word infill into the city website and it'll all show up.
Okay, thank you, Carl, so much for joining us today. And we want to thank you for watching this first edition of YourCOS. We need your input for our next show. Log on to our website to submit questions and join in the conversation. I'm Jennifer Baker. Thanks for joining us.